ও অ্যানাদার ট্যাব। এই জয়ন্ত তো ঢুকছে, জয়ন্ত তো দেখতেছি ওই যে ঢুকছে। আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে।
Right. I don't know if it is good afternoon for some people or we are actually moving towards evening for some countries. Because when it is a virtual symposium and a breakout session, then of course we are talking to people across geographies and zones. My name is Vasanti Hariprakash. I am the founder of Pickle Jar, and a great pleasure in welcoming you all onto this session, particularly dealing with a very important and unique topic, which is dual apprenticeship and mentorship models. As part of the symposium, which I hope many of you have been witnessing since yesterday, we have had different speakers come and share their experiences of what has worked on the ground in their own countries. We have a rich panel and group of speakers on this one. So I would like to now hand over to Biru Helem and Henok, if you are there already logged in. And of course, a very warm welcome to all our guests, the audience who has chosen to be in the breakout session, and other speakers as well.
Sorry, Bashanti, this is a Iftekhar. The first session should be started from Bangladesh, isn't it?
Yes, so I asked for you, Iftikhar. I'm so glad that you're here. So I would like to hand the
Hmm.
session over to you.
Okay, thank you, Bashanti. Thank you for the
Yes,
introduction.
I hope the
So,
best of
without
luck
any
for
further,
everybody.
yeah, thank you. So, without any further delay, I just want to explain how we are going forward. This session is for two countries. Two countries are participating for presenting their case. One is Bangladesh and another one is Ethiopia. So, for Bangladesh, we will have a dedicated time for 20 minutes, and in 5 minutes, we will present the presentation. We will also show the small video on the topic like dual apprenticeship model and how we approached it in Bangladesh. And next 15 minutes, the speakers will have a dedicated time to share their thoughts and their ideas. And there are very relevant speakers today with us. I would like to introduce them, all the audiences from different other countries who are participating here. So, at first, at a presenter for this dual apprenticeship model, Mr. Didarul Alam Choudhury will share a small presentation to us, who is a director for program and innovations for USEP Bangladesh. And as a special guest, Mr. SM Shah Jahan will be present here, uh, and he is a deputy director for course accreditation from Bangladesh Technical Education Board. Uh, Thank you, Mr. Shahjan, for opening the video option. We can see you. Then Mr. Anisuzzaman is here from ILO Dhaka, Bangladesh. He is a program officer for ILO Skills 21 project. So yes, it's a very colorful screen. We all can see us. And another speaker, we are seeing that Mr. Joyanto Mohanto is present here, who is a youth trainee of this rural dual apprenticeship program. So this is a very mixed team, but at the same time very relevant and very relevant persons are here. So we will now move forward, and we will move to Mr. Didarul Alam Choudhury. I will request him to share the screen first, so that others can see the presentation slides, and he will start his presentation now. So over to Mr. Didarul Alam.
Thank you, Mr. Iftakhar. Thank you for your small but nice introduction. So, so let me start my presentation. Is it on the screen already?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Okay. So let me take the opportunity to share with you our experience around the dual apprenticeship model that we piloted in we piloted from March 2018 to March 2019. So it is, this is a very, I would say, appreciated model across the world. Um, Across the world, which is a kind of unified approach for better skilling the youth. I would like to share our experience, and mm, I mean, based on the lessons and our outcome from this piloting, we have adopted the good elements and best practices, and also we have started scaling it up in our program. So let's see how we have been moving with this model. So as I said, this is a globally appreciated model, which run through a partnership between Training Institute and the enterprises for expanding. I mean, it is basically to expand this training opportunity for the basically for the youth and those who want to develop their skill. This is also very much compatible with our national direction. Like we have, labor law 2006, labor rule 2015, national skill development policy 2011. All these, directions has also reflected, and our policies are in favor of, apprenticeship for the youth. So, which is very much compatible with our this dual apprenticeship model. And in our country there is a huge potential, huge demand for this in the skill sector, where 2.2 million per year is youth are entering in the sector with and without proper skill. And our TVET institutes can already only meet maximum 1.3 million skilled workforce. So this could be an option to meet the huge gap. And what I said, in the informal sector, where more than 87% workforce are being involved right now, basically without a proper skill. So there is a huge potentials in these sectors where we found dual apprenticeship model also, fit very, I would say, meaningfully. And as a whole, we can say from our experience, it really play a significant role to widen the skill ecosystem in the region. And how, in addition to this, all this feature, it has been also impacting by creating positive influence to promote the decent employment among the stakeholder. That is very important. And also, though RPL is not part of this model, but we have integrated RPL with this model, which helps to expand the opportunity for certification of the workforce. And this is our experience. Let me move on. um, this dual apprenticeship, how we are progressing. I mean, we have adapted the dual apprenticeship model, adapted the competitive based training framework, and where 17 plus youth also can get into the decent work through this dual apprenticeship model after receiving the training. When they are at the age of the job, they can start their job with required skill.
হ্যালো,
And it has,
হ্যালো, হ্যাঁ
360
বলেন।
degree 360 hour
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, ওকে, আবার
training.
ঢুকেন, আমি বেরিয়ে যাচ্ছি। ওকে,
Uh, I think someone has to mute their phone.
Sorry, Chintal Bhai, I will request all the other speakers to be muted while the other speakers is
Right.
speaking.
That's
Please
okay. Thank you.
continue.
So this training is a 360-hour training where enterprise and the training institute have their role. So enterprise basically provide almost 60% of the effort in this total package, and training institute provide 40%. So the enterprise provide basically hands-on training opportunity, and the training institute has have the role to make the plan, a structured plan for this training, provide the soft skill training, and also also track the make the progress tracking, and facilitate the decent work. Mentorship is a vital feature in this aspect, where the technical person in the enterprise, he's the mentor who play a vital role for joint planning and also for hands-on training. And learning contract is another feature of the model where the mentor and mentee, and I would say even the training institute also have a triangulation in planning, in making the learning contact. Record. This competency skill logbook is another component or another item in this regard. Yeah, to for progress tracking. And what I said, the national certification is another feature. I would say another value adding things. So what we have accomplished, we worked in 4 regions like Barishal, Khulna, Joshore, and Rangpur. These are 4 regions we worked, and these are the 8 occupations. I'm not going reading all these things in detail, and total 425 youth have received this. They have been they were supported with this model. After graduation, 82% of the graduates engage in different activity for skill economy. So let me focus on how we are. What is the kind of our stand for sustainability? I mean, this is sustainability through uptaking and scaling it up across the country. So USEP has taken special drive since 2022 to strengthen this approach across the country through the informal sector with five different dimensions. So we develop our capacity 320 staffs, including instructors, run. We develop their capacity to run integrated skill development program especially in the field of the informal sector, and these sectors are focusing on 8 different occupations. What I said earlier. So we are expanding and strengthen network with. We have expanded and strengthened network with about 3,500 potential enterprise workshops. And their mastercrafts are also about 400. So they are now skilled to take this thing forward. So we develop partnership with this enterprise, which is about 1,300, like 1,277 enterprise and workshops. They are our partner to take this thing forward. And they develop their skill of the mastercraft. So this is also another area to take this thing forward for long-term sustainability. And we have functional model. That is one of the I would say very valuable feature we developed in the functional modality with BTV. Our deputy director is here, Shajan Bhai is here. So BTV has extended her support for NTVKF Level 1 certification through RPL for the graduate of the program. So these graduates they have come. They are the output from our 10 technical school working in across the country. So this is a regular basis. The certification is a regular work. And finally, I would say we facilitated wage and self-employment through including follow-up. So this is also part of the program where we are supporting these graduates in their work through follow-up support. So all these 5 above drives have huge, have given USEP a solid ground to scale up this dual apprenticeship program and also provide them more than 5,000 skilled workforce in the informal sector. And let me just share our 4 lessons and 1 challenges. This is really hands-on training in the real workplace, which makes the graduate confident to better retain and better perform in the main real workplace, that is the job market. And structured mentorship is also a value-adding role of this technical person in the informal sector. In addition to their technical work, they are now playing a role of mentorship, which has expanded the opportunity for skilling or through training. And this model also has huge promotes potential role of the community. Community has also role, not only this training institute and the workshop, but the community has also role to expand the skill ecosystem. What I say, this helps youth to start the job with better wage, because they are ready to serve quality performance. So they have that and they have the certification. The main thing is that one of the big challenge what we prevail still in our country, that is women participation, is a critical challenge due to the community perception and lack of favorable environment, especially in informal sector. So this is the challenge what still we have been, I would say, we have been kind of addressing. So this is all about what I tried to share with you, but let me also take you to a video animation. Please enjoy it.
রাজুকে প্রতিদিন নানান সমস্যার সম্মুখীন হতে হয়। কর্মক্ষেত্রের পরিবেশ, কাজের দক্ষতা সহ নানান বিষয়ে মানিয়ে নিতে প্রতিনিয়ত তিনি সমস্যার সম্মুখীন হচ্ছেন, যার ফলে হতাশাগ্রস্ত হয়ে পড়ছেন রাজু। ইনি মেঘনা। একই কর্মসংস্থানে কাজ করেও রাজুর থেকে অনেকটাই এগিয়ে। হতাশাগ্রস্ত রাজু মেঘনার কাছে তার সফলতা ও কনফিডেন্সের কারণ জানতে চাইলে মেঘনা তাকে ইউসেফের ডুয়াল অ্যাপ্রেন্টিসশিপ স্কিলস ট্রেনিং সম্পর্কে জানান। ইউসেফ বাংলাদেশের ডুয়াল অ্যাপ্রেন্টিসশিপ স্কিলস ট্রেনিং, যা দক্ষতা উন্নয়নে ইউসেফ বাংলাদেশের ট্রেনিং সেন্টার সমূহ এবং ইন্ডাস্ট্রি উদ্যোগে একটি যৌথ প্রশিক্ষণ ব্যবস্থা, যেখানে প্রশিক্ষণ গ্রহণের সাথে সাথে অফিস এনভায়রনমেন্টে লাইভ ওয়ার্কশপের মাধ্যমে সেলফ ডেভেলপমেন্টের সুযোগ করে দেওয়া হয়, যার ফলে ইন্ডাস্ট্রি অ্যাটাচমেন্টে সরাসরি লাইভ প্রজেক্টে কাজ করায় অন্যদের থেকে প্রশিক্ষণার্থীর দক্ষতা বেশি থাকে। তাই নিয়োগকালীন সময়ে বিভিন্ন প্রতিষ্ঠানে এসব দক্ষ কর্মীর চাহিদা বেড়ে যায়, যার ফলে এই ধরনের প্রশিক্ষণার্থী অন্যদের চেয়ে বেশি বেতনে প্রতিষ্ঠানগুলোতে চাকরিতে যোগ দেয়। অন্যদিকে প্রতিষ্ঠানগুলো এদের দ্বারা উপকৃত হয়। এভাবেই প্রতিষ্ঠানের দক্ষ কর্মশক্তি গড়ে ওঠে। প্রশিক্ষণার্থীরা নেগোসিয়েশন স্কিল, কমিউনিকেশন স্কিল, কাস্টমার ডিলিং সহ নানান ধরনের স্কিল ডেভেলপ করে জব সেক্টরে খুব সহজেই মানিয়ে নিতে পারে। এছাড়াও প্রশিক্ষণ শেষে প্রশিক্ষণার্থীদের সার্টিফিকেট প্রদান করা হয়। সার্টিফিকেট প্রদান শেষে গ্রাজুয়েটদের চাকরির সুযোগ করে দেওয়া হয়। অক্সফামের অর্থায়নে এম্পাওয়ার ইউথ ফর ওয়ার্ক প্রজেক্টের সহযোগিতায় ইউসেফ বাংলাদেশ বরিশাল, খুলনা, রাজশাহী এবং রংপুরে ডুয়াল অ্যাপ্রেন্টিসশিপ স্কিলস ট্রেনিং প্রদান করছে। ৩৬০ ঘন্টা কারিগরি প্রশিক্ষণে ১৮০ ঘন্টা ক্লাসরুম বেস প্রশিক্ষণ এবং ১৮০ ঘন্টা ইন্ডাস্ট্রি বেস প্রশিক্ষণ। রাজু এখন ইউসেফের ডুয়াল ট্রেনিং স্কিল ডেভেলপমেন্ট করে আগের চেয়ে অনেক বেশি কনফিডেন্ট।
So thank you for watching the presentation and the video.
Thank you very much, Didar bhai. It is fantastic when we are listening. I just want to clarify 2-3 terms before we are proceeding for the next discussion, because there are some technical words that need to be clear to the audience. For example, there you have termed NTVQF, which is probably National Technical Vocational Qualification Framework, and you have said RPL, which is Recognition of Prior Learning. So I think these are the two terms will also come around, and this is also very attached with the concept of dual apprenticeship. There is also a question from the poll, and they are mentioning that why we are talking about why we are attaching the word dual, and the video, it's actually explaining here that it is ensuring the industry attachment while we are giving technical training program from accredited training centers. So this mixed journey for a trainee is meaning that is meaningful with the word like dual. Am I right, Hidayul bhai?
Yeah, that's
Thank
clear.
Thank you very much. So moving forward to our next speakers, I would like to hear from Mr. SM Shah Jahan now. uh, and who is a deputy director from the Bangladesh Technical Education Board, and leading the journey of the concept of dual apprenticeship model, uh, and the apprenticeship model in other way. So, Mr. Shahjahan, I would like to know how you see the prospects of such piloting, and what could be the next steps from Bangladesh government end, so that we can promote it if you feel that this is a good journey. Over to you,
Uh,
Mr. Shahjahan.
thank you very much. Thank you, Iftekhar bhai. This is the good opportunity or good starting from the Bangladesh side. You see, as a country of South Asia, and Bangladesh has a number of population 166.3 million. Where the population age group, you see the 15 to 68 percentage is the 68.4%. This is the huge number of youth people in Bangladesh. And you see the Bangladesh Technical Education Board deal with the technical and vocational education and training, including the regular training courses and also the recognition of peer learning. The apprenticeship, it is the another pathway for certification and train the youth people for the job market. And the USEP, they are their journey with a dual system means you already explained. The industry and academic institutes both are working together. But not only these things, but the BMET, Bangladesh Bureau of Manpower Training, they are also implementing some sort of the apprenticeship program with the industry as well. This is a long way to we are passing, but it is not popularized very much. But the use of a dual system, it is encouraging for our young people and and sort of the underprivileged group, those who are in the working in the rural area, they also get the opportunity to certify them. You see, Bangladesh Technical Education Board introducing the a national technical vocational qualification framework and certified our worker, because without certification there is a huge loss for the Bangladesh. You see, the remittance volumes of the fiscal year 19 was close to the US dollar 20 billion, 40% of the total export earnings of Bangladesh. Although there are 44% are classified and less skills, and another 16% are classified and semi-skilled. But they treated our worker as a low-paid jobs. And this is why the Bangladesh Technical Education Board introducing the recognition of prior learning process to certify the worker, those who are certified in the National Technical Vocational Qualification Framework up to level 1, 2, 3, and above. You see the apprenticeship program in the on-the-job practical skills under the working condition. The program was initiated 2016, but in the meantime, the target was 3,40,000, but we achieved only the formal sector from the 28,000 and on the informal sector 15,000. But our target was the huge. But when the USEP, they start their programs with the support of Oxfam, it will work a very good situation, would I say, because the PTB assessed them and certified them. It is the national certificate, certificate and also the Bangladesh Technical Education Board issue the certificate to the apprentice. They can show their skills, their achievement to the employer as well. When they certified the employer, they are very much happy to recruit them, and most of the cases the apprenticeship, they get some jobs from their own factory or own company. The company they can start, or the workshop they hire them for the better wages, and they happy to hire them as well. So I think the Bangladesh Technical Education Board work with the USEPs. We need to upskill these things through although we have the apprenticeship rules and as well the Apprenticeship Act. But these things need to be incorporated. This thing needs to be accommodated for with the rules, and also it need to be accommodating from the formal level as well. When it may come from the formal level, it will work very vast area, and they can accommodate the lot of people for although the Darbai mentioned that this is the piloting, this is why they are doing these things initially, how it is works, but we find it is worked very good. This is this results. We think we need to up a scale from in the government level as well as the industry level. We have an industry skills council. We need to disseminate these things in the industry through the industries council to the industry, because when industry see the potentiality, they can happy to recruit them. They can happy to receive some apprentice to this company as well. I think so. Uh, this is in my area. And BT, you see, the BTB also certified them through the institutes and issue the certificate for the level, the NTPQ level 1, 2, and above. I think it will the good start from our side, and we need to go a long way to implement this apprenticeship model for Bangladesh, because a lot of peoples we have the young people only formal training institute cannot train them. Only through the RPL we can certify limited number of the peoples, but the apprenticeship it will the good way to certify our workers or train our workers as well. Uh, this is the for my
Thank you
opinion
very
in
much,
surmise. Thank you very much
Mr.
for your support.
Thank you, Mr. Shah Jahan. So from Oxfam, and we have observed that the piloting results was very impressive. For example, the persons who have received the training, out of them, 82% have received job, and 94% of the trainee has already received the certification, and 83% of the training reported that this is a good journey for them. It's a excellent way of excellent support for them, and we also have observed that the of incomes also increase for the trainees who have received such type of programs through this piloting. And with that note, Oxfam together with USEP tried to scale up it further from our projects, and the number is now higher than the pilot numbers. So at this moment, um, I will move to our next guest, Mr. Anisuzaman from ILO. Uh, and all we know that for skills transformation, for skills graduation, ILO is a very important organization, across the world. And in Bangladesh, they have continuous work on debate sectors. And this is a common field for Mr. Anisuzaman, for you. And to for you, my question will be how you see the options of scaling up such types of project with the support of Bangladesh government, with the support of industry players, with the support of relevant other stakeholders, and how that process could be strengthened, where we can reduce our duplication and where we can increase our motions and our activities for a better journey for the people for whom we are working. Over to you, Mr. Anisuddin.
Uh, Thank you very much, Iftikhar bhai, and I would like to thank Didar bhai. I've seen his presentation as well as thanks to Shajan bhai. Always thanks to goes to Shajan bhai because of some most of the cases he tried to put some concrete information to all of us because of he has been working with Bangladesh technical educations for a long time, especially in this skill sector. Uh, Thanks again for inviting me. Just I would like to tell if I talk about very specific according to Iftikhar Bhai's point. So just to give you some background in Bangladesh, as you know, that is already you have mentioned, ILO has been working with Bangladesh government for a long time, especially in the skills development sector. If you talk about national skills development policy, that is started from ILO, and ILO has been supporting Bangladesh. So that is why most of the cases, what we normally do, that is, we do not do any duplication things. For example, uh, this skills training, of course it should be mainstreaming. In some cases, of course, we always see there are many projects, they have some motto. In that case, in that case we can see there are diversified training. So that is why most of the cases ILO that has been working with Bangladesh government to change the system so that everybody can follow this. So from the background level, if we talk about the Bangladeshi youth, so every year that these were mentioned, as well as there are some statistics. Every year there are more than 2 million people. They are actually entering into the labor market. So with 2 million youth, if we talk about youth, so in that case, most of them are unskilled or low skilled workers. So I would suggest, I would appreciate that the model you are proposing, apprenticeship, is one of the tested system across the world, across the globe, that is very much fruitful in terms of acceptance by the employer, acceptance by the industries. So that is why this is very much important. If I just share some of the experience from our end, so ILO has also done some apprenticeship model with some a national actor from under VC project. So during that time, we have also seen the same thing. That is, if we talk about the normal workers, and if we talk about the trained workers, there are many senses. So since in terms of salary, in terms of confidence, in terms of skills. So in that case, I would suggest that is there are many actors. If we do not work together, of course, our motto or our objective will not be succeed. So in that case, that is why, for example, if as one of the development agency, we cannot tell that is we can manage to everything. But what we can do, we can at least create a forum, or create a platform, engaging government, engaging private sector, engaging national international NGO, so that they can follow it. So that is why, uh, 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 thanks to the other, though he has mentioned some point about this quality, but still I would say there are still lacking. Where is lacking? So one of the participant, she mentioned, that is there any incentive given to the apprenticeship? Still, it is missing. Maybe there are some cases that is happening, but if we talk about this formal apprenticeship, there should be incentive from the employees. But most of the cases, one common thing we are missing with industry, that is apprenticeship or on the job training program. So the most of the cases, most of the industries, they do not have these kinds of facilities. Yeah. Why actually I'm talking about these facilities? If we talk about quality apprenticeship and quality skills apprenticeship, you have to provide apprenticeship to do the work in the industry. Most of the cases, what is happening, this apprenticeship, they just observe the situation, they just see how industry people they are working, but they are not getting chance properly how to do work in the industry. So in that case, of course, these kinds of modality, whenever we will test, we have to have some flavor. For example, in institute, what they can do only some basic skills training, including some generic part. But if we talk about this apprenticeship model, whenever a student will or trainee will go to industry, they should be given proper space to practice over there, so that there will be chance that, as Shajan bhai said, Didar bhai said, there will be chance to see the potential of apprenticeship, how actually they are performing, so that employers or industry, they will have there will be chance to employ them. Otherwise, again, whenever they will go back to the institutions, they will assess by the Bangladesh Technical Education Board with the support of industry actor. But again, there will be some mismatch in the employment. So that is why, of course, Shadan bhai is there, the actor is there, Oxfam Bangladesh, Oxfam is also there. So I hope that if we work together in a way that is whenever we'll design this model, for example, if we talk about NTPK level 1 or NTPK level 2 or 3, whatever it is, so the industry and the institute, they need to design this training delivery system in a way that already did I mentioned that is 160 hours in the institute and 160 hours in the 180 hours in the industry. But that 180 hours has to be fully skilled base. Otherwise, they cannot show their potential, and they cannot and industry people, they cannot assess them. So I hope if we can work together. So just to inform you, last point, Iftekhar bhai, that we have already initiated some issues with Bangladesh government. So Shajan bhai is there. That is we are trying to develop one dual training system in Bangladesh. Of course, maybe you have seen this ILO toolkit on quality apprenticeship. So if not, then I can again share these things to you. But based on which we would like to do this dual apprenticeship model based on German experience in Bangladesh. So from next year, we will try to uh, bring this system, develop this system, and endorsed by the government. And not only endorsed, we need to bring those actors, means the industry people, ISC, together so that they can advise them in a way that whenever they will be in this system, they should get some higher wages of salary. Otherwise, this group of people again, they will be demotivated. That is, if we do this training in a way, if I do not get more salary, so how I will do this thing? How I will? Why I will take this training, and why I will waste my time? So that is from my side. If Tekar bhai, if there is any other
You,
question,
Aman
then I
bhai.
will answer. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time and expert opinion. I think the way you were saying it's we can connect it very clearly with the concepts that Mr. Didar Alam explained. The incentive mechanism should be there, but at the same time, we also need to think these incentives are not creating dependency for the industry, so that they are they are redirecting to the project activities. Uh, yes, Oxfam is also very interested to work with the other stakeholders who are involved in this practice. In fact, this is all our duty. We will try to catch up here. So from the presentation, from the learning, from the all of you, I should say that the benefits are very clear. The roles are also very defined. Who need to do what? It is very defined. And now this is a time for act for all of us. So thank you
Um,
very much for all of your expert comments, opinions. Uh, I am Iftekhar. I was with you. I am with you, and I am now working in a Oxfam, Bangladesh, as a head of economic inclusion and justice team, and I will try to connect all of you for our future collaboration. Thank you very much from the Bangladesh team, and I
Mr. Iftikhar,
try to
Mr.
other.
Mr. Iftikhar, can I just add one sentence? How
Please.
we are improvising our ongoing training by uptaking some of the good elements from this model.
Dilbar, you have 30 seconds. Please do.
Oh no, yeah, within 30 seconds. I mean, though I say it, though the model has 360-hour this and that, but we also kind of improvising our other training by incorporating, industry's role, those who are offering job after completion of the our other training. So we also they are now offering an opportunity for the for the person, those for the graduate, those who have joined in their industry, and they are offering on the job assignment instead of on the job training. They are offering on the job assignment, which is another version of, I would say, enterprise based training, so which challenged the youth to perform, to demonstrate their performance, and to for before confirming their job. So that is also another way of providing better opportunity to consolidate their skill, in the real situation. Thank you.
Thank you. So we are finishing with the last statement from the Didarul Bhai and over to the other colleagues who will take over now, and we will try to listen the experience from Ethiopia. Thank you very much for the patient listening. Just wait. Hello. This is I'm Branu from Ethiopia. Just I want to present our experience on the piloting apprenticeship program in within the context of Empower Youth for Work in Ethiopia. Let me share my slide. Yeah. The model that we have adapted is about developing an opportunity, giving an opportunity for youth, particularly focusing on the women-friendly sectors, and also facilitating linkage with the private sector in our context in a semi-urban community where the project is operational. The tool is to support from school to work transition that could help the youth to tackle unemployment that is facing in the rural settings. It is also a scheme that helps to bridge the skill gaps that have been observed during their life or even in the formal training sessions, which will help them to gain experience in the real work environment. And the model is intended to help unemployed youth to acquire practical on-job skill and also create their job or find jobs that will satisfy their interest. In the meantime, it is also an initiative that will create an opportunity to create more labor forces, workforces for the local employers. The model, the apprenticeship model, has focused particularly addressed the youth groups in rural and semi-urban area who have challenge with respect to their literacy level education and experience, and also have poor access to networks and also job opportunities in urban settings. And taking this into consideration, we did an assessment on the potential opportunities that exist in the project operation and found that in the rural settings and also semi-urban locations, there are fewer jobs and also private sectors that offers an opportunity for the young people to get involved and get connected with employers or get an opportunity for employment. Taking this into consideration, this model was initiated as part of the program by to develop an experience and also replicate the experience that is generated by the project through the participation of other stakeholders, particularly the local government and also the private sector that's operating in the area. The main purpose of the apprenticeship is to facilitate, as I said earlier, the women-friendly, because the challenge is more on part of the female. Women-friendly skill development and access to decent work for youth through linkage with private sectors. There is a big problem with access to information, so it's about facilitating those processes. In meantime, it's also meant to upgrade the practical skills they have got through life and also through some short-term trainings to increase their employability in the private sector. In the implementation of this pilot, we have followed certain participatory processes. What we did is we have conducted a comprehensive assessment to identify the potentials and in the sector, particularly in the private sectors, identify the existing private sectors in the localities, and also the priority needs of the youth, and try to match those needs with the potential existing in the area. Then the assessment helped us to manage to identify potential private sectors that can provide support or create a linkage. And also we have learned and identified certain challenge and lessons that has been addressed in the process during the implementation of the project. In the assessment process, we have adopted a participatory approach where the engagement of the private sector in the validation of the result has been so crucial. Through the participation of the stakeholders, particularly the private sectors, we have managed to develop transparent and accountable mechanism, which will be used in the implementation of the apprenticeship scheme. This include mechanism to publicize the initiatives, mechanisms to mobilize and screen the youth in a transparent way, and also certain facilitation of consent among youth, parent, local administration, and also signing a memorandum of understanding with the private sector so that they will have clear role and responsibility in terms of delivering their role as expected. In the process, again, we have created a space, safe space for female by developing a standard that will fit into gender sensitivity protocols that we developed and internalized with private sectors so that there will be fair treatment of the apprentice in the formal settings. And we have also created a mechanism where a formal monitoring and follow-up system will be undertaken by the apprenticeship providing private companies and also local government actors. Some of the achievements that we have observed in implementing the pilot are the following. One is in the implementation process, it is not an isolated engagement. It is more of an integrated implementation approach that we used. So the linkage that we maintain with other pilot initiatives like life skills, vocational training, BDS, has impacted on the motivation of the youth, particularly in creating their own job after the apprenticeship linkage. We have created linkage with private sectors and address about 1,082 young people to benefit from the scheme and generate certain learnings. And an opportunity was also created in the private sector for this purpose. More than 48% of the apparently beneficiaries are female. And this is a commendable job, particularly in the rural settings where the patriarchal structure influence the engagement of the female youth to participate in the apprenticeship. And we have observed that over 75% of the participants have been self-employed by creating with other opportunities, and the remaining are employed by private actors. In meantime, during the implementation, we have been able to sensitize the private sectors to develop a standard protocol that will be useful in terms of handling their employees, both men and women, in their workforces. And the process of internalization was one of the important success that we have observed in implementing the pilot. Over 112 private companies, small in particular, in our case, have created a partnership with us. And out of, in these private companies, the youth have benefited from 15 youth-friendly sector in the apprenticeship process. And most of them have got an opportunity to be self-employed and also to be retained in the training in the private sector for their job creation. The initiative, in addition to this, the initiative has enhanced the image of the private sector in terms of bridging the linkage with the government and the families of the youth to benefit more, and healthy relationship was observed in the process. Uh, Again, the private sector have got better recognition through the support letter that is issued by local government, and also that has served as a tool to motivate them to engage more in replicating the experience that has been gained by the initiative. Some of the major challenges that we have observed during the implementation, which could be improved, include there is huge demand on the part of the youth, but limited local opportunities. So matching the demand of the youth, and also the local opportunity of private sector was a difficult task. There is also, although it is expected to ensure more employment of the apprentices, low employment rate was observed, uh, except the self-employment opportunities. The lack of practical incentive to apprenticeship providers. The private sector is with private motive. So there is certain expectation of technical or capacity support by the private sector by placing the apprentice. So those arrangements are very important in terms of creating healthy linkage and also generating more technical capacity. We have also observed a difficulty of maintaining data, because after the apprentice complete, there is a disconnect. So we have a difficulty of knowing who is placed where and gathering those type of information, because the young are mobile by nature. They go for self-employment or other work opportunities outside their localities. So because the project is limited in the specific area, getting those information are some of the challenges that we have observed in the implementation. But we managed to address a little. The other important is the level of influence that we made on private sector need to be revisited, particularly in terms of facilitating the employment opportunity for the youth to benefit after the apprenticeship. Some of the important learnings, a lesson that we have generated, uh, because due to the nature of the location of the project, apprenticeship in pre-urban area is more effective, and it has given an opportunity for self-employment, because the project targeted use in the rural and semi-urban areas. So this is one lesson that we have generated in the implementation. The private sector has also interest to increase job opportunity, in terms of the relation we built, is highly encouraging. And if we address certain challenge that we have observed, we can also benefit from that. Another important lesson is the pre-apprenticeship support or orientation to the target use, and also the private company have better impact in terms of job placement. So the level of engagement in pre-apprenticeship relationship with the users and also the providers is very important. In the process of implementation, we have learned that it's important to provide a competency-based certification for the apprentice, because the letter of recommendation by itself is not enough to ensure that the youth will get job opportunities. So this is an issue that we need to work with the local government in the future. This is a brief presentation that I had for this session. Thank you.
Hello, thank you. Thank you so much, Brahanu. This is Awal from Oxfam, Ethiopia. And as you heard from Brahanu, he has explained a lot of things about the apprenticeship model, including the description on it and also the purpose and also about the process and the achievements, practical achievements that we have, and including the challenges and lessons learned. And also we do have another presentation from Somali region. Let me give the floor for Ismail Ibrahim, who is telling us about the testimony on his side. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Firstly, I'm deeply delightful to appear in front of you. John, go. Thank you. Firstly, I'm deeply delightful to appear in front of you. Firstly, my name is Ismail Ibrahim. I'm 22 years old. I live in Kabrabaya City Council, Somali Regional State. I'm one of the vocational skill training participants trained on mobile maintenance. I'm one of the graduates from Jigjiga Polytechnical College. The project helped me to get training on mobile maintenance by cooperation with Polytechnic and Telecom. Before I took training, I was an unemployed young man who used to depend on my family for everything. Soon after training, I was able to provide an online training courses program on graphic design for almost 40 young people on voluntary basis. And I prepared a training module before starting to provide the training. I created an WhatsApp and Telegram group to show up to anyone interested in registering for the training. I also accessed young professionals from abroad who specialize in graphic design and like Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator for that software to support me in providing the training. Instantly, the courses were delivered with the local language, and all the registered youth practitioners benefited from the program. At the present, thanks God to financially independent from family and technically competent, skillful, and all I'm owner of the maintenance center in mobile Kabrabeh Council, Somali Regional State. The service I currently provide include two companies, software and hardware. Software part classified. The first one, updating software, flashing firmware, FRB reset when the phone locking will hard reset, adding application, creating new Gmail account, and etc. Hardware parts is screen replacement, solve charge problem, clean speakers, microphone maintenance. If I talk about my success factor, I'm understanding the needs of the community. The community do not have mobile maintenance center where they can fix their phones. I dream of being self-sufficient. My future vision, if I tell you, is become an ethical entrepreneur and a great online retailer. If I talk about the changes I want to make in future, I want to create more jobs for many young people and start different business, including expanding the maintenance sector and graphic design yet. Uh, Next, my strategy to achieve my vision, to develop my skills and create enough resource to achieve my vision. That's the point. My advice to you, generation. I also study at Jigjiga University and further my education. I study accounting. On the other hand, I work. That means I can study to improve my knowledge. On the other side, I work to gain and create the specific economic. You know, I advise young people to take advantage of their age to be creating to be creative in order to thrive. And I recommended them to start business from scratch because this time it's a young people who can change everything in this world. Great. We have the opportunity that the young youth of the last century do not have, and we must take advantage of it. The other point is that there is no limit thinking unless you believe you are limited. I advise young people not to limit their thinking about real change and the long journey of life to persevere, but believe that they can come up with realistic thing about life. Thank you. If you have any question, you can ask me. I'm ready.
Thank you very much, Ismail, for your interesting speech. Next, I invite Abdul Karim from private sector, Abdurrahman from private sector, who has experience in working with the EYW project in apprenticeship scheme. Thank you. Uh,
marka hore aad iyo aad baan idin salaamayaa dhammaantiin iyo ciddii ka soo qayb gashay barnaamijkanba magacaygu waa cabdiraxmaan ibraahim caaqil.
Firstly, I am grateful to everyone who participated to this program. My name is Abdurrahman Ibrahim Adi.
waxaan deganahay ama aan ku noolahay maamulka magaalada qabri bayax
I live in Kabarbeya City Administration,
dowladda deegaanka soomaalida.
Somali Regional State.
markii aan dhameeyey waxbarashadayda ma aanan sugin dowladdu inay shaqo i siiso.
When I started my educational program, I didn't wait for the government to give me a job.
balse taa beddelkeeda waxaan saaxiibaday ku dhiirigeliyey inaan si wadajir ah shaqo u abuurano.
Instead, I encouraged my colleagues to start a job which is particular for us together.
maadaama aan naqaanay aniga iyo saaxiibaday farshaxanka dawaarka ama tolidda sida loo tolo dharka.
Since me and my colleagues knew the art of tailoring,
waxaan ku heshiinay inaan magaaladayada ka furanno dukaan harqaanle ah.
we agreed to open a tailoring shop in my city.
annaga oo isku darayna dhammaan dhaqaalaha aanu haysanay.
And we were collecting all the money we had together,
aniga iyo saaxiibaday.
me and my colleagues.
waxaan ku bilownay harqaankii 3 mashiin tolmo ah kadib oo yaryar.
We started the working on 3 small machines.
kadib si tartiib ah waxaan isku abaabulay shirkad ka kooban 5 xubnood.
Then gradually we campaigned a small company which contains 5 members,
oo dhalinyaro ah,
which are youth.
magaca aan maaradayada markaa waxaan ugu magac daray Heegan dawaarka Heegan.
The brand name of our working is called Hagen Tailoring Shop.
kadib markii aanu isu abaabulay waxaanu isku daynay inaan amaah ka qaadano xafiiska microfinansiga.
Then when we finished campaigning our job, we tried to loan or borrow money from the microfinance.
waxaan ka qaadanay lacag dhan 50,000 oo bir oo Ethiopian ah.
We borrowed them 50,000 bir
si aan u balaarino ganacsigayaga.
in order to enlarge our company.
hadda waxaan leenahay ganacsi aad iyo aad u fiican oo rajo leh.
Now we have very effective business.
waxaanu si wanaagsan u maamulaa dhaqaalahayaga.
We manage or administrate our economy properly.
maanta ahaan shirkadayadu waxa ay leedahay 12 makiinadood oo 2 ka mid yihiin.
As for today, our company has 12 machines.
10 kalena ay yihiin kuwa waaweyn.
Of which 10 of those machines are large machines and 2 of them are small machines.
aniga iyo saaxiibaday waxaan si aan caadi ahayn uga qayb qaadanay mashruuca kobcinta awoodda shaqo ee dhalinyarada gaar ahaan xagga shaqo carbinta.
Me and my colleagues participated effectively on the EYW program.
mashruuca EYW program wuxuu 2 jeer noo fududeeyay barnaamijka shaqo carbinta labadii wareegba.
We facilitated the EY program. We facilitated the EY apprenticeship, working for 2 times.
waxaan shirkadayada Heegan ay ka qayb qaadatay ay kaalin weyn ka qaadatay shaqo carbinta dhalinyaro 11 qof gaaraysa.
Our company has participated in effective working for the EYW apprentice.
shirkadu kaliya kuma ayna ekaanin shaqo carbinta dhalinyarada.
We didn't only conclude our job for only apprenticeship alpha.
waxa kale oo aan shaqo u samaynay 9 ka mid ah dhalinyarada shaqo carbinta.
We have also employed 9 of those members.
kadib markii aan si hufan oo guul leh u dhammaystirnay barnaamijka shaqo carbinta
After we successfully completed the EYW apprenticeship program.
intaa kadib waad iyo aad baad u mahadsantihiin waxaa kaloon u mahad celinayaa hay-adda xaafayoko gaar ahaan laanteeda dowladda deegaanka soomaalida oo si hagar la'aan ah noo garab taagan
After that, I am admirably thanking you, and then I am admirably thanking to Havioka and the EYW program.
aad iyo aad baa u mahadsantihiin
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Abdurrahman. Just over to you. Dear host, over to you.
Hello, thank you so much for all presenters from Ethiopia, both in Bishoftu, Oromia, and Somali region. Dear participants, if you do have any questions with regard to the presentations, please let us know and you are welcome. Thank you. Over to you, facilitators.
लाइव टा डूम है गला